In this report, we cover The Hard Thing About Hard Things by Ben Horowitz. Now, Horowitz is a successful entrepreneur and venture capitalist, so this book is primarily an outline for entrepreneurs building startup ventures. That is, how you build a team and become successful in building the venture. So he starts off with the premise that there is no singular formula. You basically have to figure it out yourself, but there are some principles that come into play, and so he offers guidance on how to navigate some of the more difficult scenarios for these entrepreneurs. Now, he starts by talking about a period he calls the struggle, and this is a period that is filled with self-doubt, difficulties, all of the things that basically stand in the way of whatever is determined to be success for the entrepreneurial venture. Generally, that concerns meeting growth metrics. So he gives some advice on how to deal with this. He basically says, acknowledge that failure is common, that you have to persevere through it. Avoid denial, which is the avoidance of reality that bad things are happening. You must confront it directly, and you need to seek the expertise and guidance of those who have been in similar situations before. So have a peer network that can help you. And when you run into issues and problems, openly discuss it from your team. Don't wall off and make them oblivious to the challenges that the business is facing. He talks about the importance of a positive work environment, and he says that several elements of this are that everyone should understand their role fully, that there should be a common understanding of what everybody's role contributes to the overall organizational mission. That is, people understand the impact that they have in the organization. There needs to be minimal barriers in place to an individual's productivity or success in whatever objectives they're pursuing. And there must be mutual respect among the team such that they are willing and motivated to collaborate with other team members. Now, he moves on to talk about the idea of recruiting talent and the difficulty there. And he gives some primary tips and techniques. He says, one, focus on strengths of individuals you hire rather than looking for individuals who simply have no weaknesses but not as strong individual strengths. Try to hire people with ambition, but specifically focus on people who have ambition for the team, the company to succeed, not just personal ambition to achieve lofty heights themselves. And look for individuals who have a level of dedication to the end goal, to accomplishing the team's mission. And then he talks about hiring executives and the difficulty there. He says, before hiring an executive, you must fully grasp the complete and total requirements of the job that the CEO will be doing. And the best way to do that is to experience yourself. Try to run the company yourself or step into those shoes or that role so you know what are the tasks and responsibilities that must be filled. Then make a list of those requirements, assess what the company needs at that moment, and then develop questions that will help you test candidates' ability to recognize and do that. And then build your interview team, make certain they're aware of these requirements and what you're trying to weed out among the applicants, and do the interviews and conduct a debrief afterwards. But once you've done that and gotten the feedback from everyone, you must make the decision yourself independently as the leader. Now, he moves on from there to talk about training employees. And he identifies two types of training: your functional training, which is the specifics of your job or your task, but he focuses more on the idea of managerial training and the idea of establishing a company culture, reinforcing the company values, having individual one-on-one meetings with people such that you can give adequate feedback and give them the time and attention that they need. Then he moves on to talk about the process of scaling and how you scale a venture with process. That is, he gives several steps for establishing processes within the organization that are going to allow for the continued efficiency that's necessary in the startup venture. So he says, outline the objectives, then develop processes or steps that are going to allow you to carry out the functions that lead you towards those objectives. He stresses the importance of continued evaluation of what you're doing to see if the impact is sufficient or meeting your needs or expectations. And then he's big on assigning individuals to tasks and maintaining accountability for individual outcomes. From there, he begins to talk about what it means to be a CEO and how to be an effective one. And he talks about clearly understanding the objectives of the organization and the leadership ability of the individual. That is, the ability of the individual to inspire and motivate others, particularly towards the mission or vision or goal of the company. And ultimately, making certain that you are delivering tangible results, because those are the three key elements. You must model the objectives, you must inspire others, and you must actually deliver on expectations and promises. And then he ends the book by reinforcing the idea that this is a challenge. People are going to fail, but if you embrace the challenge and exercise good practices and continue to persevere and pursue it under the right values and principles, that ultimately you can be successful. So this concludes our coverage of The Hard Thing About Hard Things by Ben Horowitz. Hello everybody. I hope you're enjoying the content, and please pardon the interruption. I just want to take a moment to remind you that this is just a small sample of the various resources we have in our academy at thebusinessprofessor.com. We have long-form book summaries, business courses, business and legal templates, a career TV channel, an AI-powered business encyclopedia, recent headlines, and lots of other benefits to explore as well. So please, I hope to see you as a member of the community sometime in the future.